In this slide, we put up a couple examples of how it may change from when you have a Milan environment and when you move to CAM. In the first example here, this is kind of one of our most basic scenarios. You may have a Milan environment where you have one or many Milan servers in a single data center, and you have just one data source for provisioning. When you set up CAM, you'll just have to follow that same process. You'll pick a single CAM tenant, preferably in a region that is close to your data center, and then you would just have one instance of data uploader. In the second example, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. In this situation, you have a data residency requirement that requires you to keep your data in a particular region. In your Milan setup, you have 3 servers that are in each geolocation, which are connected to your separate DMS systems. And you have a single source of provisioning. In CAM, you would still need to have your 3 separate tenants in each region that would comply with that data residency requirement. The tenants should be in an AWS region that would correspond to those locations, so you can stay in compliance with the data residency requirement. Even though you have one data source, we would still need to implement 3 different data uploader instances. This way we can funnel the particular provisioning jobs to the correct CAM tenant and region. And then finally, in the last example, this is similar to the second example. However, you don't have the data residency requirement. You may have one or many Milan servers and 3 different iManage geolocations pulling data from one data source. In this situation, you can have just one CAM tenant that will be reading data from that single source, and that CAM tenant can manage multiple iManage systems. So you don't need to have a separate system for each iManage instance that you have, and that is the same for in cloud or on premise.